Hello everyone and welcome back to part 12 of the X-Wing fighter build by MPC. Today we're actually going to start working on lighting the engines, getting the LEDs inside the engines there and getting all wired up. And then maybe we'll even start putting the nozzles on the ends and getting them glued on. So let's take a look.
Okay, I know it's been a little bit. I got some things done on here. Not remembering exactly where I was last video, but we got the blue canopy on there, but I'm going to leave that masked up until I do the satin because of the windows. I think I showed all the black parts that I added, some gray details, some of the yellow. Got the gray all up in there. I think, you know, there's more of the wing stuff that we did. But it's slowly coming along. But yeah, I'm really liking how it's coming out. Had some paint peeling issues like when I did those, but I'm going to work those into the actual damage detail of the ship, so I'm really happy with that. And so what I did is, it's time to get some lights in these engines. So I went through and got my flickering LEDs and went and painted them a red. So they're looking good. I already pre-put the resistors on them, on my positive leg, off camera, just to save some time. That's just a simple little solder point. And I already got this one spliced here to go, and then we're going to have to slide it in, but then I'm going to have to slide it in just enough so that it's going to be pretty much most of the bulb. It's going to be in there. So, which kind of stinks, but these are the only flickering ones I have on hand. So, but that'll fit in there. So, let's try to at least get this soldered on. I think the best way to do this, I want to slide this over the red wire. So I'm going to at least sheathe the red wire so we don't get any type of shorting out, if I can get it. It's just showing its weary head in order to I guess I did do it that way to try. It's usually nicer to have a more stable thing instead of trying to solder off like this, but let's give it a try. I already tinned everything, so afraid I started melting that shrink tube that where it won't go over the resistor. Let's see if I can just cut that little end. Sometimes this works. I really want to do that, but I can't get. There we go. Now I can get it to slide over. How are you catching on? There we go. Give it a twist. I guess probably the black would, the negative side would probably have been easier way, because then I wouldn't have to go over a resistor, but you could do either one, or you could do both. But as long as I get one, I feel a little better about getting shorts and like the negative touching the positive. Not too worried about getting a sleeve over to black. Solder, see if we can get this to work. There's no way for me to hold that wire on unless I can twist it. Yeah, that's not enough solder. It's not enough solder joint. How do I go with this? Hold on to the wire. Like that. There we go, that's better. That gave me a nice shiny solder joint, and that's usually a really good sign that you have, like, you know, not a cold solder joint. Usually cold solder joints don't give you that cloudy, foggy looking joint. And these wires are going to be a little more tricky to get in there than I thought I could get them. Yeah, because then we're going to have to do that and then do that. I wonder if I could just do that, and the force of them, all the wires and everything pushing it, and then I just glue that on. I think that's all we're going to do, because the string and or the wire and everything's trying to push that bulb back out quite severely. So that's what we'll do. And then I can always, you know, get in there and get it too if I need to. Not having to break everything apart. So let's move on to the next one. That was a little easier than I thought. The hardest part is stripping these because they're so close to the engine. I'm going to get the right angle here. There we go. There's a certain way this thing strips. And you want to do it as a pair first. Lay flat so you don't. There we go. Yeah, because these wires are so thin. But then my other thing is to cut the splice, I gotta kind of do this. You want to get this against something hard, because it will not pull apart this red and black. Just trying to pull it, it's tough. But you can just take a knife and cut. How much stuff? You can just take a knife and just cut down the center of them, just to score it, and then you can grab them. And sometimes you actually can take the knife to pull the two wire leads apart, so you don't grab wires from the wrong one, and you just give a pull. And there they go. Alright, so let's make another red, or I wonder if we should go with a black. Yeah, we're going to go with a black. Let's put a little one on the, well, it won't even be a little one because it's going to have to go across the whole black lead. And some for the wire. So, cut these in half. That'll give us enough. And as long as I get mostly the beginning, because it's stiff down here at the bottom, so they shouldn't hit. But just to make sure we don't have a short when we stick it in there. So we can slide this. Well, let's tin these too. Go. Okay. Try to get lines over to. Might be the easier way to go. Let's see. So even if it shrinks, it's only going over a solder joint. Alright, I'm a righty, so we need to twist this around. if I can get a little tinning on this. Things tin much better when you can put the solder right on the part you want to tin. There we go. Alright, let's hit that negative. That seems like the easiest one right now. Being difficult. Too much solder. I can't see the wire. I think it cut it a little. It took some of the. Yeah, it's starting to shrink tube itself too. Because we had to mess with it. There's a little more wire. Alright, we can't be messing around with it too long, but it stinks when you don't really have a. You don't really have a way to hold the two things together. It's kind of tough. Alright, now we can slide that over like that. So too far. Let's see if we can have this hold. It's going to be easier. I need something to hold this up. This thing's not big enough. What do we got? Gotta have something. Here. No, that's not far enough. I need something to hold you up. Big old roll of tape. That's too big. Alright. This might even be almost too big. Alright, and we'll take this where I can hold on. And do that. Much better. Still not with me being right-handed. It's a little tricky. What's going on with these wires? They're being funky. Never heard them be this funky before. There we go. Now it's getting loud there. I like that. One last one. Yay. Yeah, where's my little cut there? That should be enough. Should have thought. And see, that one I like because it went back quite a bit. Let's tin this. Let's see if we can go for it. Go. We got a pretty good center hold on there. Yeah. Slide that one over. I still want to cover part of that wire too, because it's, like I said, it does give a little strain relief and all that kind of goodness. Help your solder joint stay. Alright, now let's tin this resistor for the hot leg, positive leg, or whatever you want to call it. Yeah, this seems a little. These things are great. They're the reverse of this. Well, they're the same, but the other one has a stand, has legs, which is kind of cool. And this one I can use like this. And there we go. Here we go. We got impulse, we got our engines in. Impulse, I'm thinking Star Trek. I think the alligator clips would be too big. And these are great. Those in. Maybe I should check to see what voltage, because this knob could have gotten hit. Yeah, I'll get this down to 9 volts. That's close enough. And hopefully we got a connection. Yes, we do. And there they are, folks. See what it looks like with a cap on. That looks good. That's why you're going to want to paint some of that, the end here, black, and then maybe silver to shoot a lot of the light out the nozzle end. And the LEDs look like they're pretty much chilling right in the center of those engines, and they're not overly bright. So that's perfect. Oh, let's take a look. Oh, I can't. The windows are still painted. But great. There we go. So, alright, so there we go. Until next time, we'll start. I have one more. Let's get these unhooked so I can move the plane, the ship. Get these twisted back up so they don't snag and scratch and do everything. Beautiful. Yeah, so there we go. There's the engines. I'll glue the ends on, but like I said, I wanna hit this with some more blacks on the light bleeding because I saw a little light block like coming through there, and then it's gonna get painted a gray because this end of the nozzle is gonna get a little that dark gray, and then that will too, a little stripe around there. But I want to hit this with a black and then maybe a silver or something to reflect more of the light forward. Or I even have that silver tape because these are going to be in far enough. I shouldn't get a short. I could use some of that silver tape to really reflect it that way. So, but we'll be back shortly. The other thing I want to do here is I got a little like pale green I'm going to do in here. Not that side. This side. I'm going to do a little pale green in there. I think I'm going to use my old green that I had for my Ramen and or my Klingon D7. So we'll do that. But the engines are, yeah, I'm really happy with them. Really happy. It makes me very happy. That's one big thing off the list. And just got to finish up that painting, and then I can do a well, actually I think I'm going to put the decals on and just do a clear coat all over and see how these old school decals work. If not, they're not going to work. Really, it's all just the striping here, so I can use this as a scale template. Cat hair. I can use this as a scale template to make a mask, you know, if these don't work. But we do have to cut them because that is not one big long red stripe on the actual Luke Skywalkers. It does red to here, and then it's white, and then the red starts and goes here to here somewhere. And I think that's it on this side, and this side's pretty much the same except it has red way back here. So we'll be cutting this decal up too. So that's going to be fun. Got to figure out exactly how I can match that. Do I put it on there and give it a slice? I would rather cut it before I put it on there, so we'll probably have to do a whole measuring thing and do it that way, because I don't know. I would like a nice straight cut, so. But yeah, I'm happy. Oh, and I also did before we go, I painted up the detail on the one laser. It gets it on this side, and then it gets it on the bottom on the opposite side. Kind of like the stripings, like on one side and then the other. So I painted the back of the engines black, and then I hit them up with a little silver there. I don't know if you can see. So we're going to get ready to glue those on. They're looking really good. So these, make sure they're all lined up. I think we're going to start with this glue. I also got R2, since I had the silver out, got his dome started, and then we got a lot of blue to try to color in there and do a little red spot. And he's looking okay. Figure why I had the silver out. Let's get these nozzles put on. I wonder if I can get it. slow a little bit because I got a little working time with this. And I'm going to use the center of that cone there to push the LED in and keep it centered. There we go. Yeah, we're going to have to hold these. Either that or I'm going to have to try to get some of this quick. Let's do the really quick set. So it'll hold it, fuse it together. Whew. I am still not very... The smell of that is quite different than the normal Tamiya thin cement. I think that's got it. So we'll do this one next, I guess. But I wanted to use this good cement so it doesn't when you go in, you go straight. That is a key. There we go. A little twist to work the glue around. One thing I didn't do is clean the paints off, but which usually helps too, so it's actually bonding to actual plastic to plastic. And this quick set seemed to work. Sure, I got that. But it's looking good. Finally have those nozzles on there. Make sure I keep pressing those on, make sure they're on tight. Yeah, they're doing good. And I'll go around with the thin set, or the quick set Tamiya paint. Boy, I'm not talking very well today. I'll go around with the extra thin Tamiya here to seal it all up. It also fills in the gaps a little. You're pointing down. We need to get you to. There we go. That's better. A lot of times those act like a super glue. Because they'll flow around and then cure real quick. Just enough to hold it in place for the rest of it to cure. And there we go. Like I said, it doesn't matter if we get anything on that big ring that goes around them, because that's going to be gray. They do that in the darker grays like that I already have on the ship. This gray here. And there. I'm going to do a ring around that. There she is. So let's keep pushing. That's why we got her. Spot was getting about empty. Go through. Run a little bit of this in there. It's looking pretty good, like as far as tightness. Oh, there's an area there. I'll probably see more once we paint it. Alright, let's set her on there. It's looking good. Make sure all these glues are tight before we spill. Close all those vapors. Wow. Whew. It's the only bad thing about they are vapory, but that's what makes them dry so quick. Really loving this revolve with the needle. And I do like to me with the brush when I need it. Now she's looking more like an X-Wing. It's in there. It's working good enough. Let's see if we can get a better, and we can do that so we get some weight on these. See, that pretty much closes. Not exactly the diameter of this wire. Turn that light on again. This guy's really bright. I think because she's off the sides. I mean, that's enough for me. I don't want them really. It's hard to see this one, but I was hoping for a little something better than that. Oh well. I will work on that situation. Or you know, I'm actually kind of fine with it. I wasn't gonna even put lights in this at all. I got a good cockpit light going, so as long as I have those going and something going on, I'm a happy camper. So I am going to let them fully cure. It's like either, because I don't even know how I could fix that, because there's no, unless I can completely cut that whole back half out of that engine. I think a lot of it has to do that there's not much room between those stars and the thing. If they gave you a little more room, I'd have a little more light to bounce, but that's just the design of the ship. Unless I cut that whole ring bit bigger, which I could, and somehow float the LED in there. But then I needed like a reflector to reflect it kind of forward. You know, or I should have put the LED in the tube and set it and just did that way. This works. You live and learn. It gives me enough little, you know, activity back there. And plus, I'm not getting a good connection because I don't have this one totally untinned. So we'll see. You gotta get the decals on and get a clear on her. Then we'll do a wash and all that kind of good stuff. I want to seal everything before I start doing a wash. And yeah, then we're like really close. Got to work on the base. See what I want to do with that. I think I'm going to go with the original base, the crazy looking explosion thing. Just to keep it original. I mean, sometimes these things are just, you know, a lot of times I'll just go to Hobby Lobbies and get one of those pre-made wood bases. And they have different sizes, or like the NX1, I got the one with the bark still on it, which was cool. Being that it's kind of a prototype-y ship. But, Hobby Lobbies has, you can get this one out of here. Yeah, they have like these big ones. They have a smaller version that's about, you know, that size. Like this would even work on one that big. No, the smaller one would work better. It's a little too big. I think this one I'm saving for the, or one similar. I'll see if there's something else, but I think this one will work good for the one Klingon ship that I'm going to have landed, the Bird Prey. That I'm going to have landed. And then I can do a row of LEDs. I'll drill them up through a router. Yeah, they're not that bad. I mean, this bigger one's only $3, so it's not really that bad. And it's pre-routered, you know, so all you do is just paint it the way you want. Like the Dauntless, I did the edge different color and make to, you know, kind of give it that aircraft carrier. So I did that like naval gray and then the deck black. But I think this might be, I think this would look good for the Klingon ship, which is about this big. So that would work. And she kind of, the weird way she said. But I'm rambling again, like always. So until next update, happy modeling.